Okay, Gearheads, Chuck Fasst here, initiating another Camaro repair video. 3 years I've been fighting this cylinder 5 misfire, and on Easter, in the process of running my OBT2 drive cycle test, someone got in there and snagged my fucking keys. So I'm going to take this off right here. It looks like it powers up this fuse box. I hope that's what it does, because I want to hook the battery. I was halfway through the drive cycle. Those things take ever. Anyway, so I'm dead in the water now, you know, with the VATS system and all that stuff I have to deal with. So what we're going to do is show you what we got. And here's my trusty old gear puller from 50 years here. Fortunately, the steering wheel takes a 5/16 course, so I used my two little bolts here, and I'm taking a 3/4 here to get down on this, take it off. That bolt that was holding on the steering wheel, I ended up using just an old 13/16 setup to get it loose, get it off of there. Alright, so now we get after this and see if we can pop this thing loose. I felt something right there. So I unclipped the turn signal wires, just grab a hold of that with some needle nose on that blue thing and just yank them apart. Fed them through and just got the wheel right off of there. Next I see a C-clip right down in there. Tackle that one next. Well, that wasn't too tough. Had to use my channel locks here. So I got that off, and then this I had to wiggle and pry on it a bit, and now it's sliding off. I also noticed the register right there. There's like a key missing, and I want to make sure we get that back on the same way, just like that. And the steering wheel also will line up with those registers when it goes back on. Now here, let's see what we have here. Looks like we got a couple wires down there by my thumb. Plugged in, maybe some kind of a plug. We'll take a look at that. I don't know how much leeway we have here. I'll quite get this off. Oh, I got it off of there. All right, so that's off. All right, let's get that undone and move on. Yeah, so I just left it hanging there. I don't even know how those come apart, but it's out of the way. Here comes a wavy clip that was down in there, so I pulled it out, and now I can see the other clip. This one's under pressure, so we'll have to think this one through. Okay, I want to try to take the pressure off this inner clip, so I've come up with this bracket. I don't know what I ever used to use it for, but I'm going to rig it up with a couple of deep sockets here and see if I can push down on that and see what I can accomplish. So that took me a while. I don't have my little pin tools because I've moved recently, couldn't find them, so I had to use a combination of stuff, like several different sizes of screwdrivers here to get in there and work on that ring, and including my handy dandy little door panel tool that an old fella made for me a long time ago, and I've managed to keep this thing for 50 years. It's a tough little tool. Saved me many times. So we got that out. Notice how this is clocked in there. This is should be your horn. Should go through there, I believe. Let's see if I can. So there comes that out. I'm looking at some screws in there. And it looks like I'll have to take the turn signal mechanism. Yeah, okay. Well, I got that out of there, and it was damn hard again. The socket didn't want to go down in there. So, and then the screw drops down back in here somewhere, so I'll have to deal with that. So there we go. It's all loosey-goosey and everything, but I think ordinarily you'd have to have this in the accessory position. And, of course, you cannot do that without a key. So we're looking into this situation right now. Well, I just took this screw out, and then this piece comes out of there. A little linkage piece for the turn signal stalk, I guess. Well, we'll see what else we can do here. Oh, sure enough, that allowed me to just pull this out of the way so I could look down in there, and sure enough, I saw another screw. So I pulled this one out, but now it appears that I may not have had to even bothered, because I see another screw right down in there, right in the middle. I believe that's the one. And I disconnected the damn fuel pump fuse. Gotta try to see what the hell's going on here. Okay, is it time for a commercial break yet? So here we are, days later, and I don't know what kind of catastrophe I've got myself into here, but that's what I got from the locksmith. I brought him the other one. They said it was hard to make the key. They said we got these for 25 bucks, being that I don't need the chip. So here we go. He says this will slide right in. The one tip he gives me is put it in with the key out, because there's a tab in here that is your buzzer tab, can get hung up. So struggle. It's going in there. Is it lined up? What's going to happen here? Well, it feels like it's gone in there. Now we're going to have to mech around, see what we can get done here. Well then, the lock pin didn't go in so easily. I had to push the ignition switch all the way in, wiggle it around a bit, and before I could get this in and get the threads to catch. I put it in very lightly, but the key is now very stiff to turn as a result. I'm wondering if I should be lubing something. Well, okay, we don't have enough light here, do we? Is there any way we can get the torch on? Torch on, come, turn it on. Ah, shit, screw this. Alright, it's getting dark out here, so what we did, here's my contraption. I put it back to use with the two sockets in there to push this plate down, and now I was able to shove that little split ring all the way in there. So now I'll just take the pressure off of this, and then we'll be able to continue on and finish this job up. First thing I'm doing is I'm pushing that thing in there with a screwdriver. Okay, now it's pretty close. I may have to two-hand this thing to get it into the slot. It acts like it may have just went in there. Yeah, let me look at it through my camera and I can actually see it better. Down here, we got to check that out. So I wiggled that C-clip into place, and then we just line this lines up on this baby, and presto, she's lined up. Now we crank that nut down real nice and tight. Get this baby done. Make sure it's tight, because I don't want to have to tell you the story about when I was a kid, what happened. Okay. Is that good enough?